The Giants capitalized, scoring on 6 of their first 7 possessions. On this one, Ron Johnson, number 30, crashed 35 yards for 7.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time any day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, the New York Giants, let's see, they had 11 draft picks. Last time they had that many, I think, was 2003. So it's been a long time. It's been almost 20 years since they had 11 draft picks. That's not the most. That's not even close to the most. But it's been a while since they've had that many, 11. But now with the college free agents draft, shall we say, the guys who weren't drafted, the Giants so far, all right, have brought in 14 guys. So the New York Giants, between the draft and the undrafted college free agents, so far, I mean, 25, and I'm sure the number's just going to grow, right? But I got a list of 14 guys here that the New York Giants brought in, undrafted college free agents. Okay. Now, what I like about this, what they brought in so far is that they got a kind of like areas of need. Now they brought in one guard. Okay, the guard I'm going to go over him in a minute, but once again some flexibility. He played left guard and right guard in college. Okay, but I mean they had 4 or 5 healthy offensive linemen when Shane came in, healthy. But then that didn't include because Shane Lemieux had gotten operated on. Matt Parrott had got operated on. Obviously, we know Nick Gates got operated on quite a few times, unfortunately. So, I mean, there was like 6 or 7 or 8 guys. Then they brought in, like 4 guys or so on free agency. So now you're up to 11, 12. Then we drafted 3, so now you're up to 14 or 15, right? And then they brought in another guard, so we got 15 or 16. And a lot of the guys have versatility. They played multiple positions, which is huge. So we got a lot of guys. I'm not saying the offensive line's fixed. I'm not saying we're going to be a top 5 or 10 offensive line. I ain't saying that at all. But we got a lot of guys. Okay. As I said, hopefully we got our tackles for the next 10 years, right? Then we can start working on maybe, maybe Shane Lemieux, starts kicking butt. I mean, who knows? Maybe Ben Bredesen starts turning things around. Who knows? Maybe we get somebody, one of these younger guys, who can be our long-term guard, and then maybe work maybe on getting a center somewhere along the line. But we really didn't need to bring in college free agents, in the offensive line. We did bring in 2 tight ends. One's a tight end, one's kind of like a tight end, H-back, fullback kind of guy. I'll go over those 2 guys in a minute. So now we're kind of like up to 8 tight ends. I mean, we got a boatload of tight ends. The only problem is that out of the 8, the 6 of them have a combined 3 catches in the NFL. So not a lot of experience there, right? We didn't really need a quarterback because we got a bunch of quarterbacks. We brought in 1 running back who was pretty doggone productive in college. I'm going to go over him in a minute. But I'm a little surprised maybe we didn't bring in maybe a wide receiver. I mean, it's not over. We certainly could bring a wide receiver or so in. This is just the beginning of it. But on defense, right, we got a nice little, conglomerate of guys that they brought in, right? They brought in 4 guys for the interior of the defensive front, right? So, we could use some help there and some depth there, and the competition brings out the best in everybody. All right, I'm not saying any of these guys they brought in are going to make the team, but, it's worth a try. They also brought in 3 cornerbacks. All right, one of them was coached by Coach Prime himself, Deion Sanders. They brought in 2 safeties, which is huge because we only had 3. So we brought in 2. Maybe one of them can stick. Who knows? And they also brought in a linebacker as well, too. All right, kind of an edge linebacker, right? So, you can never have too many edge rushers. I mean, I was kind of, in the draft in that second round there, instead of trading back, where they traded back, I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson, a lot of people had him going like in the 3rd round. Right, so we took him in the 2nd round. Hopefully it works out for us. I'm not certainly wishing any ill will on him or nothing like that. It seems like a lot of people seem to have him pretty late not late in the draft, but 3rd round. We took him in the 2nd. I said there was some edge. Ajabo was there. But anyway, all right. So let's go over the cornerbacks here, okay? The one they brought in from Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, is Al Young from Jackson State, okay? On the season, nothing. A lot of these guys, the stats aren't really super spectacular. There's a couple of guys got some nice numbers, okay? But the cornerback, he's 5'11", 195 pounds, nothing super spectacular. But he did grade out, all right. It was Jackson State, all right. So the level of competition was not Alabama, okay. But he graded out at an 80, all right. For the season, he had 23 tackles. He had 2 interceptions. He did have 11 passes defensed, 2 forced fumbles, and he did. Also had a touchdown as well, too. Okay. The second cornerback that we brought in was Darren Evans from LSU. All right. He's tall. He's kind of a little thin size, 6'3", 180 pounds. That's thin, all right? But he's 6'3". That's a heck of a size corner, I'll tell you what. Pro Football Focus had his graded as 64.6. Nothing special. His coverage grade was a 64.7. They did have him, like the thing I like about him, they had him all over the place. They had him 2 times, they had him actually on the defensive line. 37 times they lined him up in the box. 43 times he was in the slot. He was a free safety 10 times, and then they had him at the cornerback, the wide cornerback. They said 379 times, but the LSU moved him around a lot of flexibility there. So that's important. The other cornerback is Zion Gilbert from Florida Atlantic. All right, he's 6 foot tall, 193 pounds. Not bad. He ran a 4.49 40. I was reading. He's kind of freaky. All right, 4.49 40. Not bad. His 40-inch vertical jump. That's pretty much jumping out of you. You hit the 4.0 mark. Anything over 40, that's pretty doggone impressive. All right. His broad jump was basically 11 and a half feet. 11 foot 6 inches broad jump. That's pretty impressive too. All right. His defensive grade from PFF, all right, was a 73.8. His run defense is decent, right? 78.2. He pretty much a lot of. He had 697 snaps at the wide cornerback, so he was predominantly just like a Bradbury or Adoree Jackson out wide, pretty much the whole time, right? But somebody to keep an eye on, right? Certainly somebody competition, right? Then we go to the safeties, the 2 safeties they brought in, right? One is Yusuf Corker from Kentucky. He's 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, right? He's similar to Dane Belton, the guy we drafted. There's nothing special. PFF had him graded at 67.6. They moved him around a little bit. He was in the box 270 times. He was a slot corner. He covered the slot cornerback. He was a slot cornerback. 132 times, and he was a free safety 380 times. So they moved him around. Flexibility there. which is important. Trenton Thompson, all right, is the next safety from San Diego State. 6'2", 200 pounds. Once again, nothing super special. PFF had him at 67.2 a grade. His coverage grade was a 71.3. You know, not super horrible, nothing super great. All right. He was a free safety, 105 snaps. He was in the box, 170 snaps, and he was in the. He used him a lot as a slot cornerback, 621 times. But you know, once again, they moved him around. Versatility, which is very, very important. Then we go to our 4 defensive tackles that they brought in. All right, Tyrone Truespell, all right, from defensive tackle from Florida, 6'2", 326 pounds. He's trying, he's trying to add depth and competition to the defensive the linemen that we got. You know, that's all. We signed Justin Ellis and we drafted DJ Davidson. So we're just trying to bring in these guys here, these 4 guys, just some competition and some depth. I mean, I don't know if any of them are going to actually want to make it a team, but we'll see. Chris Hinton, defensive tackle from Michigan. Right, he's 6'4", 305 pounds. He was only a junior, right? Nothing special. PFF had him as 63.8. His run defense was a 56.9. His pass rush grade was a 70.9. But I mean, nothing super special. So once again, just some competition, right? Let's see, Jabari Ellis. They brought him in. Defensive tackle from South Carolina. He's 6'3", 278. He's a little on the light side there. PFF had his grade at a 64. All right, I mean, so once again, nothing really special there. Then we got a guy sounds like a movie star, Antonio Valentino, defensive tackle from Florida. Big guy, 6'3", 312 pounds. All right, he was a red shirt senior. He had 5th year. All right, his run defense was a 68.7. Pro Football Focus overall had his defensive grade as 64.6. So nothing super spectacular with any of these defensive linemen. Just some competition and possibly some depth, and maybe one of them might make it to the practice squad. Who knows, right? But now we get to the offensive side here. There's a couple of guys, actually 3 out of the 4 guys. Actually, let me go over. We got a guard, okay? Josh Rivas, guard from Kansas State. Right? Big guy, 6'5", 330 pounds. He played both left guard and right guard, so versatility, which is very, very important. All right. PFF at his grade is 79.4. His run blocking, 82.5. Not too shabby, right? Now, with him, he's going to compete. I mean, we got Glowinski pretty much as the one guard, you would figure, all right, because we signed him to a nice, healthy little deal there. We got our 2 tackles. We got Glowinski for at least a couple of years. I think we can get out after 2 years. I'd have to look back at it. But we signed him for 3. If we keep him for 3, we keep him for 3. But, I mean, what Rivas is doing is competition, maybe a little depth. I mean, it's going to be like with him, with Shane Lemieux, Ben Bredesen, McKethan, who we drafted, Izudu, who we drafted, right, and then Rivas, So, I mean, they're going to be fighting for some depth, to maybe make a roster spot. I mean, who knows? I mean, because there's no clear-cut winner, all right, at the other guard position. Because Bredesen was here last year. He's not a Shane guy or Dable guy. Shane Lemieux was here, right? This will be Shane's 3rd year already. My God, time flies. But, he's not a Dable guy or a Shane guy, so you don't know how they're going to, react to those guys. But, I mean, competition is going to help out everybody. But then we go to these last 3 guys here. And these guys here, their numbers, peak a little bit interesting. Okay, let's go with the running back here. Desean Corbin, all right, running back from Florida State. All right, he transferred from Texas A&M. He's only 5'11". I mean, a nice size. He's 200 pounds, so no overpowering running back or anything like that. But 5'11", 200, it's not bad. But in 12 games, okay, this past season, he had 143 rushing attempts. So he ran the ball 12 times a game, right? We had, in those 143 attempts, he had 887 yards, 6.2 yards per carry. He also had 7 rushing touchdowns, too. Importantly, too, he had 25 receptions, all right? And they moved him all over the place, right? He even had 10 snaps at quarterback, right? He was in the backfield 410 snaps. He was in the slot 46 times, and he was out wide. He even had him out wide 8 times. So they moved him around, right? Some versatility there. But, I mean, caught 2 passes a game. I don't know how many times they would try to throw the ball to him. But, caught 2 passes a game. But, 6.2 yards a rush. Not too shabby. I said 887 yards on 143 carries. So that's not too bad. So, I mean, keep an eye on him. Who knows, right? Because, I mean, we got Brightwell, but he's not a Shane or a Dable guy. He got drafted, last year. So who knows how they're going to, react to Brightwell. They brought this guy in for a reason. So, keep an eye out on Corbin, the running back from Florida State. Very intriguing. Then we got these other 2 guys, the tight ends. One's a tight end, and they listed the other guy's a tight end, but he's only like 6'1" or 6'2". I mean, yeah. But we'll start with this guy's a tight end. All right, Austin Allen, tight end from Nebraska, 6'8", 255 pounds. Now, this past season, all right, he had 38 receptions for 602 yards. He was named the Big Ten Conference Tight End of the Year. All right, but 38 receptions, 602 yards, but that's 15.8 yards a reception. So he averaging like 16 yards a reception. Only had 2 touchdowns, right? But 16 yards of receptions, that's pretty doggone good. His Pro Football Focus overall was 89.8. Very special. His run blocking was 72.9, but but his receiving rate 90.7. Very good reception. Very good receiver. Very good. So somebody definitely to keep an eye on. He was in the backfield 14 times. He was in line, 380 times. They had him in the slot 138 times, and even had him out 6'8". Even had him out wide 15 times. So once again, versatility. He played all over on the offense, right? So keep an eye on him. The Big Ten Conference Tight End of the Year. All right. So I mean, 6'8". Right. So once again, Austin Allen, a tight end from Nebraska. Keep an eye out on him because I mean, the other, like Jake Hausman and Rice and John, I mean, they're not, once again, not Shane guys, not Dable guys, or nothing like that. So, right, so keep the guys that they're Shane and bringing in. Keep an eye out on these guys. Like I said, Austin Allen. Then we got Jeremiah Hall. Okay, he's a tight end / H-back / kind of fullback from Oklahoma. He's only 6'2". He's about 240 pounds. He is slow as heck. I think they, well, he's kind of like, built like the kitchen sink. I mean, he's built well, right? He's not tall and lean and, thin and everything like that. I think he ran like a 4.9 40. So he's not fast at all, okay? But he does have very good hands. Very good hands, right? Now, as I said, he could maybe possibly be a 240-pound fullback. That wouldn't be bad. An H-back, not too bad, right? In 2019, he graded out at an 88.1 from Pro Football Focus. He took a little dip in 2020, but this past season, in 2021, he graded out at an 83.5 overall. His run blocking needs a little work to be done. He graded out at 63.9 with his run blocking grade from Pro Football Focus. His receiving grade, though, however, is a 90.2. Very, very impressive, right? This past season, he doesn't average a lot, per reception, but he had 32 receptions, 334 yards, and 4 touchdowns. All right, so he averaged like 10 yards a reception and 4 touchdowns. So basically 1 out of every 8 times he caught the ball was for a touchdown. But he only played 340 snaps. All right, so 32 receptions and 340 snaps. You get pro teams. The pro team does well. Yeah, you're looking at at least twice that many snaps, if not more. So basically, 340 snaps, he got 32 catches. So basically, almost every 1 out of every 10 snaps he was in the game, he caught a pass. So that's pretty impressive. Are any of these guys going to actually make the team? Who knows? But there are a couple of intriguing guys here. All right, to certainly keep an eye on. I said Allen Hall and Deshaun Corbin, the running back from Florida State. Those 3 guys, just might want to keep an eye on. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there. Go Giants! Woo!